All right, next we have the welterweight championship between Tyron Woodley and number 2 ranked Kamaru Usman, who's coming off a big win over RDA, beat Damian Maia before that, Emil Mech before that. I mean, Usman's 14-1. You know, he's extremely talented. He's a great wrestler. He applies pressure well. And I always kind of say that's kind of your key ingredient against a guy like Woodley. Because think about what you have to do in order to shut him down. You have to close off space because he's so fucking explosive. And I think, you know, going into the Till fight, I really liked Darren Till in that fight because I thought Till was going to apply pressure. But I think that part of the problem with the way that like Till and Wonderboy fight is that they're bigger guys. They're pretty long. They utilize their range well, and they're able to stab at you from a long distance away. Like most of the guys they fight, they can hit them at a distance and cover distance and get away from them before their opponents can hit them back, I think. And I think that's a big benefit. Like they have a great understanding of range. But the problem with that when you fight Tyron Woodley is that he covers more space than a normal human being. He covers more space than most elite UFC fighters. Like when that motherfucker like explodes into that right hand, he can cover like half the fucking octagon. He's extremely explosive. You gotta like constantly be on alert when you're fighting him. So the key to kind of, you know, beating that down is to eliminate the space. Don't give him room to shoot on you where he's going to have like an advantage to, you know, get the takedowns and stuff. You've got to close him off kind of like Rory McDonald did. And you can't be chasing him around the octagon because then he gets to create angles, right? You got to constantly be heading him off, backing him up against the cage, which by the way, people do to him, but you got to attack him. And I think guys like, you know, Till and Wonderboy saw danger in attacking him because there is that space there and his ability to counter is, extremely impressive, and he's got a lot of power in that right hand, so it's dangerous. So you don't want to overextend on anything and leave yourself open. So I get it. But Usman fights really, really well at close range. And the question is going to be whether Woodley is going to be able to keep that off him and keep that grappling off of him. Because, I mean, Usman thrives in those dirty types of fights, you know, and he doesn't keep it at the same range that Wonderboy or Till are going to fight at. He's going to keep it in close, and I think that does a lot to eliminate some of Woodley's weapons. But I mean, Woodley's a world fucking champion, you know. He knows what Usman's game plan is going to be. He studies tape. He's going to be prepared for it. So this is a really fucking good fight in my opinion. And I can see I'm having a really hard time picking this one because I've picked against Woodley before, like in his last 3 no, I didn't pick Maia over him. I wouldn't do that. But I did pick Thompson both times over him, and I picked Till over him. And I'm kind of leaning towards Usman, but at the same time, I got to think that Woodley's going to come prepared, and I think that he is one of the best in the world, and he's just got a lot of experience, and I think that he's going to be able to pull it off somehow. I don't know how he's going to do it. I don't know how the fight's going to play out, but like, I'll say this. I think that if Tyron Woodley is letting himself get backed up against the cage in this fight, which he has a tendency to do, he's making a big mistake. I don't think he's going to be able to explode off and get those type of knockouts like he got against Darren Till or Wonderboy, but who fucking knows, maybe. I just think that if he's backing up and he's spending a lot of time with his back against the cage, that's where Usman's going to engage in like grappling contests with him. He's going to be confident in his wrestling, and he's going to land a whole bunch of shots while pushing him up against the cage. So to me, Woodley has to keep this fight in space, you know, utilize his shots and stuff and his ability to like cover distance quickly. We talked about that. He's got to be able to get in and out on punches. He's got to be, to me, he's got kind of the same game plan as we talked about earlier with, Garbrandt and Munoz. Like, I think that in different ways, right? Like Usman's wrestling is obviously very strong, whereas I don't know about I don't think Munoz is on the level that Usman is in wrestling, but Woodley's got to keep his fucking back off the cage. He's got to be circling the center of the octagon, controlling it, and he can't be letting himself get pushed backwards. He does have a tendency to do that. So we'll see. I'm taking Woodley just because I think he's going to find a way to figure it out, but I'm not I'm not discounting Usman. I think this is a great fight, and I think it could go either way.